Under the scorching sunlight from the gate of an orphanage emerge a pair of tall figures, Haydn and Dolores. The metal gate slams shut as soon as they step onto the road, as if to hasten their departure. Barely batting an eyelash at the staff tut-tutting on the other side of the gate, Haydn procures a tablet from his breast pocket. Guess she wasn't here after all. I suppose not. And what haughty attitudes they had. I cannot fault her for running off. Dolores gently pushes up her pure golden frames and gazes past the gate. Frowning a little at her words, Haydn thinks back upon the conditions of the orphanage they had just finished surveying. With the director treating them like a pair of rabble-rousers despite the scheduled appointment, the angry bellowing of what seemed like to be staff members in the distance, and the gloomy expressions of the children they had passed in the halls, it was clear that this was not a happy place for children to live in. Dolores' eyes return to Haydn at some point, but he pays no heed. Dispassionately he speaks. The search for the girl takes priority. We didn't come to fix their problems. Dolores offers a smile in response. Right you are. But there is a lot of ground to cover in the city. Do you truly expect to find her? I'd rather you didn't make light of me. The commander walks off, Dolores following close behind. Their target is an up-and-coming young graffiti artist living in South America, whose works are hit with the youth in the area and even abroad via social media. She's able to stay relatively undetected as the artist would pop up in unexpected places, perform, and then disappear as soon as the police showed up. Normally, searching for someone like that in a city this size would present a major challenge, unless they are a real pro. With a trail like this, there should be no trouble tracking her. Standing at a distance observing the young folk coming and going, Haydn pulls his tablet out once again. The crowd mostly comprises of local teenagers, with some younger faces here and there. All of them are cheering and whistling in a frenzy, enjoying the vivid colours flying before their eyes. In front of them, a single girl faces the wall, bright yellow jacket fluttering behind her. After casually donning a gas mask, she holds up spray cans in both hands and begins to paint, adjusting her position with nimble steps as she goes. At a glance, it appears that she's just a normal artist bursting with talent and vitality. However, it's the hands floating above her that draws interest. Tag in, Amanda. The girl chucks a spray can into the air where it is deftly caught by a strange purple hand emitting an eerie aura. The hand then begins painting in a spot beyond her reach. These hands bear a strong resemblance to the phantom ones controlled by the boy Shune, but smaller and seemingly lacking destructive force. What's more, they move as if possessing a will of their own. Smiles leave the onlookers' faces as they notice Haydn and Dolores' approach, almost as soon as the girl finishes painting. You must be Isla. The girl turns in response to Haydn, pulling the gas mask from her face as she eyes him suspiciously. And what if I am her? Who wants to know? Isla leads the pair to a tiny park with barely any people around. Stopping beside the playground in the corner of the area, she stares them up and down in obvious distrust. The King of Fighters? You mean that big brawl some fat cat puts on? I saw the last one. The girl takes an intimidating stance and glares angrily, while her phantom hands, who she calls Amanda, clench into fists as if ready to box. Though she appears aggressive, she seems more cautious than hostile. After exchanging glances with Dolores, Haydn looks Isla square in the eyes and begins to talk. We would like you to join our team for the upcoming tournament. Why? What's your game? Sorry, but I can't answer that right now. I only divulge intel on a need-to-know basis. Still, I'd say joining this tournament would be to your benefit. Haydn stares silently at Isla while her expression grows even more grim. Dolores watches on a few steps away, appraising the girl from a distance. After a short pause, Isla clicks her tongue in displeasure. Well, yeah, I could use the prize money to get the brats at the orphanage some good food. Plus me and Amanda will become world famous. Couldn't ask for anything more. Still, the young girl pulls the brim of her cap down, her voice lowering to a growl. This is fishy as hell. Wouldn't trust you as far as I could spit. Her interest in the conversation gone, Isla turns her back on the pair. Amanda makes a gesture as if to shoo them away. Doubt was only natural, a couple of adults she'd never seen before suddenly showing up, asking her to come with them. Not only that, but her past experiences mean she bears a deeply ingrained mistrust of people who act all high and mighty just because they are older than her. Haydn begins to wonder whether Leona should have come on this mission, given how close she is in age to the target. Dolores breaks her silence, her voice cutting through the tension hanging over the park. And what if I were to say that boy, Shune, would be attending this tournament? Isla's shoulders stiffen. She stops in her tracks and slowly looks back at the woman. Shune? You mean that sourpuss with the headphones that joined in with the old fart and that narcoleptic kid last time? The heck are you bringing him up for? Unlike before, the girl's voice betrays a faint interest. Dolores narrows her eyes and adjusts the bridge of her glasses. Because he's the only other person on this planet with your power. You must be very curious, I assume. Curious about this boy who is just like you. Isla turns to face them wide-eyed. Though she does not respond, the astonishment in her gaze and stiff expression serve to answer Dolores' question. Allowing herself a brief sigh, the woman continues to speak, cold stare piercing through the girl. This power to control phantoms. Haven't you ever wanted to know where it came from or to ascertain its secrets? The secret of me and Amanda. If you cooperate with us, I promise you this, we will reveal everything once you fully demonstrate your ability. Isla cannot bring herself to meet the woman's gaze. Beside her, Amanda bobs around in a panic. A lengthy pause ensues. The playground equipment creaks sharply in the wind, resonating loudly in the quiet. A couple children run off after a ball in the distance, and Isla, eyes still downturned, opens her mouth at last. If I work with you guys, you'll tell us what the deal is with us, yeah? She seems barely able to utter the question. Hayden responds quietly. Your collaboration would come with proportionate compensation, that I can assure you. Isla lets out a long deep sigh in response, and then, shaking her head as if to steel herself, she finally turns her entire body to fully face the pair. Don't think this means I trust you, you guys are all the same. But, Isla pushes up her cap with a smirk. That fearless grin is the first time either Hayden or Dolores had ever seen her smile. If you make me leader.
We await your return, warrior.